The first time it happened, I was 14. My parents had rented a cottage deep in the woods, right by the edge of a silent, still lake. The house was old, so old, you could feel it, deep in the wooden floors, in the stale air thick with dust and time. It had that unsettling quiet, the kind that made every creak feel like a whisper of something unseen. But the window was the worst part. It was massive, floor-to-ceiling glass that overlooked the lake, a view so open, so exposed, that it made my stomach twist. During the day, the water shimmered under the sunlight, peaceful, almost beautiful, but at night, it was different. At night, the lake was black, not dark, not shadowed, just empty, a void. It felt like the world ended at the shore, and beyond it was nothing. Then it happened. A weight, heavy, suffocating, my chest locked in place, my limbs refusing to move. I tried to shift, to take a breath, but it felt like something unseen was pressing down on me, holding me still. Two glowing eyes in the darkness outside, hovering, too bright, too focused. Not human, not animal, just watching. The longer I stared, the deeper they dug, crawling into my mind, peeling me open, exposing every fear, every dark thought. My body burned. I tried to scream, to move, but I couldn't. Something was inside. I couldn't move, couldn't turn my head, but I could hear it. A slow, deliberate step. Another. The floor groaned beneath an unseen weight. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would shatter my ribs. The air turned thick, electric, charged with something unnatural. A smell filled my nose. Damp earth, something old, something rotting. And then I blink. The pattern. Morning came, but the air in the house still felt wrong. Sunlight poured through the windows, but it felt fake, like a thin veil stretched over something rotten underneath. I didn't tell my parents what happened. What could I say? That something watched me, that it was inside, that it stood at the top of the stairs while I lay there, frozen. They would have told me it was just a nightmare, that I had imagined it, and I wanted to believe that. So I convinced myself it was just a dream, sleep paralysis. That's what the internet said, right? But it wasn't. A year later, it happened again. The same feeling. The same thing. Watching. Waiting. Feeding on my fear. It didn't matter that we had moved. New house, new town. It found me. It always found me. By my 20s, I'd stopped trying to explain it. The only thing that made me feel safe was her. She was my world, my protector. A Doberman, sleek and strong, her black fur blending into the night, her brown eyes filled with nothing but love. She wasn't just a pet. She was my constant. And she knew. She always knew before I did when something was wrong. The night it came back, she woke first. We were on the couch, and I was half asleep when she went rigid. Her ears pinned back, her body stiff. A deep, primal growl rumbled from her throat. I followed her gaze. The stairs. And there it was. Not in the window, not in the corner. Standing halfway down the staircase, its body still shrouded in the shadows above, but its head visible, its eyes burning into mine. For the first time, I wasn't alone in seeing it. She saw it too. She knew it was real. Her growl turned into something desperate, her body trembling, but she didn't move. She wouldn't leave my side. Neither of us could. I don't know how long we stayed like that. Minutes, hours, but when it finally disappeared, she didn't stop staring. And then, 2 weeks later, she was gone. No warning, no sickness, just gone. The vet had no answers. But I knew. It's worse now. I thought moving away would help, but it didn't. That night, the weight returned. But this time, it wasn't at the window. On the ceiling, the figure leaned down, its hollow eyes burning into mine. Cold fingers pressing into my ribs, pulling, trying to drag me into the dark. It wants more, and now I feel it all the time, even when I'm awake. It's there. Some nights I hear it before I see it, a whisper, a breath too close to my ear, a shadow that moves when nothing should. My body stiffens, muscles locking before I even know what's happening. Every night, the paralysis lasts longer. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it wants. But I know one thing. I'm running out of time. Because now, when I close my eyes, I don't just wonder if I'll wake up. I wonder if I'll wake up alone,